Today's episode of the Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Mt. Gox, mtgox.com, and BitPay, bit-pay.com, and Mezi Grill, meze grill.com, and bitbrew.net. Hello everyone and welcome to the Bitcoin Show. Today I have a special surprise for you. I've been a little incommunicado lately, and that's because of this surprise. On the heels of the world's first Bitcoin conference and World Expo NYC, as you all know, it was an amazing time. We got to spend time with all the greatest Bitcoin minds, developers, people involved in Bitcoin at every level, from every walk of life, converged on New York City from all the continents of the planet. It was amazing energy. As you ask anyone who was there, it was just unbelievable. It was the most exciting conference I'd ever been to, and a lot of people said the same thing. Really exciting. Well, I decided to get on a plane and come to Tokyo. Why Tokyo? That's where I'm at, actually. Tokyo, Japan, right now. The reason is we want to shoot all week here in Tokyo, live on location, and we are going to experience Mt. Gox. We're going to take you to Mt. Gox headquarters. It's up on a mountain called Gox. It's amazing. I'm going to show you everything later. And anyway, we're going to tour Mt. Gox corporate offices, their headquarters here in Tokyo, and Roger Vera Memory Dealers, memorydealers.com, which is one of the, I've given him a nickname, Bitcoin Jesus. You'll see more about that. Memory Dealers is like one of the largest retailers who accepts Bitcoin and promotes Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoin evangelist extraordinaire. We love Roger. And also, we're going to do all kinds of interesting things this week in Tokyo. We've got an appointment this evening, Tokyo time, with Hackerspace. Guys, the geeks from meetup.com at Hackerspace, and we're going to introduce them. We're going to do a little talk about Bitcoin and explain to them, and also get some feedback about what's happening here in the local community. And we've also already met some members of the local Bitcoin community and had some talks. So we're getting all that on tape, and we're going to piece it together into episodes. Really good stuff about what's happening in Japan and in Asia. In the world of Bitcoin. In addition to that, we're going to go to a Kabakupa, I think it said. Anyway, it's a Japanese nightclub. I'm not saying it right, for sure, but it's a Japanese nightclub, okay? And it's really popular venue in the evening in Japanese culture. And we have spoken to the owner of one, and he is willing to accept Bitcoin. So we are going to actually shoot the whole thing of us setting him up to accept Bitcoin. We might even meet one or two of the young ladies that work there. Exciting. So stay tuned for that this week. And also, as you may know, a hurricane and an earthquake, New York City, where we live, and all in 1 week, and it was just the craziest thing. The earthquake actually happened while I was on the jet. The jet was, had already taxied to the runway, and there's shock absorbers and all that, and it was a very minor tremor, apparently, is what it felt like on the plane. I didn't even notice. I was probably moving around. But as a result, we had to taxi back to the gate and stay on the plane for an hour and a half and all that jazz. As you may know, they shut down all the airports, and it was a little bit, disconcerting. But they evacuated all the federal buildings, blah blah blah. I got a hold of Ed and everybody's fine, and everybody at the studio was fine. I was like, okay, fine, what a relief. An hour and a half later, we took off, and we ended up in, flying to Tokyo. And then a hurricane's coming. What? A hurricane is coming to New York City. So obviously, this is really weird stuff. And everybody took the preparations and went to higher ground, and mandatory evacuations for a hurricane in New York. I mean, that's what you expect in Miami, is the weirdest thing. So anyway, thank God, everybody I know, as far as I know, is fine and safe and sound, and we didn't even have any flooding or anything. So thank goodness for that. I mean, not in our building. I mean, where we are, all of our locations. There was a lot of flooding, but not where we were. So prayers and hearts go out to those who have been affected by that, of course. Meanwhile, now I'm in Tokyo, and somebody needed to remind me when you're going to Tokyo, bring shorts and not wool jackets because it's tropical here. It's like sunny and tropical and beautiful, gorgeous. And however, now my flight is scheduled for Thursday to go back because it was delayed. I mean, it's automatically canceled due to the weather, but in New York. So my flights were canceled because of the weather in New York. Meanwhile, the flight for Thursday going back is actually I think it might be changed because there's a hurricane headed to Japan right now. So as we speak, there's a hurricane that's headed to Japan, and it's going to be here on Thursday, on the same day I'm flying back. So hold on a second. Let me just change this Skype status. Okay, there. All right, cool. So children playing on Skype, that's to be expected. So let's see, what else? So that's what's happening. Let me show you a little bit. I want to give you a little bit of a tour of what's happening here. This is the skyline. If you can see it okay. Let's see here. Let me get out of the frame here so you can see. But this is, I'll get on this side. All right. So this is the view from where I'm at the moment, and that's the skyline of Tokyo. Look at that. It's like an Asian New York, except, I don't know, people say New York City is a sleepy town compared to Tokyo. It is a hustle-bustle place. But as much of a hustle-bustle place as it is, it's very, very exciting. It actually is so clean and organized. The people are so polite, and it's unbelievably clean and well organized. It's amazing. But I'm just giving you a little bit of a panorama of the skyline that I can see from here. Now, later today, I'm going to be going over there. Do you see that building in the back? You see the tall white building, and then right there in the center, you see the tallest sort of dark gray. It's kind of like a slate-colored building, the tallest one. Well, that's the hotel where I'm staying. It's called Cerulean Tower. It's actually not a hotel, not only a hotel, it's like one of the most prestigious office buildings in Tokyo. It's called Cerulean Tower, and that's where I'm staying. And it also happens to be the headquarters of Mount Gox. You may have heard of Mount Gox. That's it. So later today, I'm going to take a camera crew over there, and we're going to show you what it looks like, the entrance and the whole scene of entering the Mount Gox offices. We're going to tour the Mount Gox offices, and we are going to meet a lot of the staff that are over there working. They're busy working right now because, it's midday here. And very, very exciting. You'll get to see them in a way you've never seen them before. Of course, we're always bringing you things you've never seen in the way you've seen them before. So anyway, really exciting things. I've already been over there and I've seen what they're doing, and it's just really, really cool. You're gonna love it. We're gonna show you all kinds of fun, groovy new things in Mount Gox's offices. And what else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I wanted to announce that there are, we came up with, while I was here the other night, we were talking at dinner. I was talking with Roger Ver of MemoryDealers.com and some members of the local Bitcoin community. We all went out to this amazing tofu restaurant. It's like famous where they make tofu at the table. Really, really cool. And we didn't shoot the video for that because it was an intimate, dinner thing. But one of the ideas that we had come up with, we kind of all formulated this idea together. And that is that Bitcoin really needs to be associated with one of its most important uses, which it really is. Not only micro payments and zero processing fees, and the fact that there's no chargebacks and all those benefits, it can be used for so many things, like monetizing web content. But one of the major benefits of Bitcoin is its ability to be used for charity, for good. And that's really important to me and to everybody, really. It's really exciting that we can associate Bitcoin with charity, because when, for example, there's a charity called epicchange.org. There's a young lady who started this organization. There was the whole story I'll tell later on other episodes, but the basic idea is in this little village in Tanzania, there are many orphans due to the AIDS epidemic there, and these orphans are cared for only for food and shelter, but they don't get any education at all. So a local woman there who sells chickens actually saved up her pennies and rented a little tiny shack and basically made a school. And this woman from Florida, Stacy Monk, was so moved by what she saw there, she went back to the United States and started an organization called epicchange.org. And the rest is history. They are this school has become a really large school, helping many children getting the best education in the country there. And Ed and I have actually met some of the kids on Skype. It's so cool. See this little 10-year-old who's on Skype. He's telling us that he's going to be an astronaut for NASA. And the thing that really is remarkable about it is that he probably will be. He will be able to do that. He's going to have opportunities that he would never have had before because of what Epic Change is doing. Well, I introduced Epic Change to Bitcoin a while back, and they have been accepting Bitcoin as donations ever since. So the idea is we're going to be featuring a lot of these charities that are agreeing to accept Bitcoin and show how Bitcoin is changing the lives of people all over the world. In so many different ways, including the amazing important work that these charities are doing. So that's very exciting. And we have, let's see, what else? We decided to specifically target the most popular charities in the world, the least controversial, most popular charities that have the most members. Charities like United Way and so on, that actually are the largest, and start accepting donations for those charities in the form of Bitcoin immediately. And we can do it immediately without even asking anyone. We've already published a Bitcoin address where I can hold those Bitcoins in escrow for that specific purpose, for United Way, for example, and feed the children and so on. We're going to make a list of them, and I'll escrow those Bitcoins. They're going to be saved in a Box account with a YubiKey, so they'll be rock solid safe, and they will be used for that purpose. When the time comes, they'll be converted to dollars as necessary, and I'll just give a check personally to those charities from the Bitcoin community. And so that's very exciting. And then in the meantime, Roger Vera of Memory Dealers has pledged that we want to raise $10,000. He's going to donate the first $5,000 right off the bat, and basically matching funds. So dollar for dollar. So if you donate $1, he'll donate, or you donate a Bitcoin, whatever. I guess it's in dollars. We're measuring it. But if you donate $1, he donates $1. So he's going to match that up to to donate $5,000 to bring it up to $10,000 right off the bat. And then people are stepping up. And Tony and Steven over at bit-pay.com have said that they will help these charities, that if they're an official charity according to their tax guidelines, whatever, then they will give them no charge processing using bit-pay. So it's a no-brainer. They can just put a little button on their website, and you can we'll talk them into it. We're going to get these guys to do it. There's no reason not to, because they put this widget on there for bit-pay. People can pay in Bitcoin, and boom, U.S. dollars are deposited into their account with direct deposited into their account the next day. So it's really simple, and we're going to assist them in doing that. And we're going to feature many episodes of the Bitcoin Show on a regular basis in the process of setting these charities up. And as the largest charities begin to adopt this, of course, those will be case studies that will, if we get United Way and Feed the Children, hello, every charity on the planet's going to go, yeah, me too, I'll take some money. And why not? There's absolutely no downside. And the beautiful thing about it for every human being is that Bitcoin will be associated with charity and giving, which is what it's about. I mean, the fact is, I'll admit, I knew about Epic Change, and I was so moved by what they're doing. But the truth is, I had never donated any money to them. But when they started accepting Bitcoin, I started making donations via Bitcoin. Why? Because it's just so easy. It's absolutely easy. You don't have to mess with PayPal and credit cards and all that stuff. You just donate Bitcoins. And it's fun to do it. It's instantaneous. And it's real money. And there are no fees. And, I mean, to pay a fee of $1.35 to send a nickel to a charity is absolutely absurd. It's not even, it's just immoral, really, to give that kind of money to the banking industry when you really intend it to go to the charity. If I donate a nickel to Epic Change, a nickel goes to Epic Change, and it costs me a nickel. And that's the way it should be, whether it's 5 pennies, $5, $5 million, whatever it is. So we're really, really excited about that. So I want to take a break really quick and thank our sponsors that obviously without them, we wouldn't be here. But I got a lot more to tell you, so stay tuned. But again, I want to thank Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox obviously is the reason we're here in Tokyo. One of the main reasons. Mt. Gox is the exchange site, the premier exchange site. They have something like in the about 90% market share. I don't know, it fluctuates, but they're definitely the big guys that have been around the longest. They've been through it all, and they're here to stay. They're resilient, they're rock solid, and they're profitable, which is good because that means they're going to be here. It's a safe place to do your exchanges. And because they have the best market share right now, you're going to get the best price when you buy or sell Bitcoins for US dollars. However, not just US dollars. We're going to, like I say, we're going to be taping later today. We're going to be making some major announcements about the new currencies that they're going to be trading in. So stay tuned for all that. But we thank Mt. Gox for their support, and if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here. So definitely send an email to admin@mtgox.com and say thank you for sponsoring the Bitcoin Show at Only One TV, and we are very, very grateful to them. And BitPay, bit-pay.com. They call it BitPay, but I always say bit-pay.com because I don't want you to go to the wrong website. BitPay is the most amazing, cool tool. We thank them also for sponsoring us, obviously, but they are making it so easy for anyone to accept Bitcoin. Whether you have a simple blog or a simple website, you do not have to be technical. I mean, even I could do it. You just go into your WordPress or your website or whatever the heck it is. If you know how to paste in a little blob of HTML, you can do this, and you can create an item or many items on your website that are for sale with a shopping cart that accepts Bitcoin. And it's brilliantly easy. It's just an absolute no-brainer. It's easier than setting up an email account, really. And then in the end, of course, if you are an e-commerce pro and you already have a website and you already have a shopping cart solution, well, of course, BitPay integrates into all the major shopping cart solutions, and they're in the process of adding more. They're doing massive development very quickly to integrate it into all the major shopping carts. So that's bit-pay.com. Check it out and sign up for their service. And they for a very small fee, they make it absolutely a no-brainer, super easy to start accepting Bitcoin right away, immediately. So we're really grateful to BitPay, and not to mention that they've announced that they're going to support us in this promotion of Bitcoin donations to charity, and they're charging zero fees for any charity. So we're very grateful for that and for them as great members of the Bitcoin community, and of course supporting the Bitcoin Show on Only One TV. So thanks, BitPay. Check them out. They're a brilliant solution. Everyone was very impressed by BitPay at the conference. And Mezzi Grill. Obviously, Mezzi Grill, the world's first restaurant to accept Bitcoin, they're going to go down forever. No one else can ever say that they were the world's first restaurant to accept Bitcoin. But that's not the only reason we eat there a couple times a week. It's because their food is amazing. So, whenever you're in New York, whether you live in New York, you're passing through New York, be sure to visit Mezzi Grill. They're only 3 blocks south of Columbus Circle, the very famous place called Columbus Circle. It's in the southwest corner of Times Square. And so when you're going to definitely see Columbus Circle if you visit New York. Just remember, go 3 blocks south and you can visit the world's first restaurant that accepts Bitcoin, Mezzi Grill. They have amazing, authentic Mediterranean food, and it's really nice in a comfortable, casual atmosphere, and extremely affordable for Manhattan. It's amazingly affordable for healthy food. But that's not all. Mezzi Grill is now offering franchise opportunities worldwide. So they're kind of like upscale Chipotle, except it's not Mexican food, it's Mediterranean food. So it's much healthier food, and it's a little bit more upscale than Chipotle, but it's sort of that style, so that it's for casual dining, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you want to have your own Mezzi Grill, get a load of this. You can start your own Mezzi Grill. Franchise opportunities are available worldwide. So just email bitcoin@mezzigrill.com and ask about franchise opportunities there. It's really exciting that they are not only the world's first restaurant to accept Bitcoins, they're probably the world's first restaurant to sell Bitcoins. You can actually go to Mezzi Grill and buy Bitcoins. It's amazing. It's, in the future, of course, this will be everyday thing, but right now it's amazing. They're the world's first restaurant that also sells Bitcoins. So they charge a 6% fee, and it's $1,000 per person per day limit, but check out Mezzi Grill. Not only for the food, but also because they accept Bitcoin, also because they sell Bitcoin, and also because you can open a Mezzi Grill in your city. Contact them about franchise opportunities and thank them for supporting the Bitcoin show and our entire community. And BitBrew. BitBrew.net is the official coffee of Only One TV. And this actually was a true statement even before they became a sponsor. Way back when, in the early days, Ed found them. I don't even know how he found them. He's just always Googling things. And he found this BitBrew, and I didn't even know it. He didn't tell me about it, but he ordered several pounds of their coffee. And when it came, he was really happy, which is unusual because Ed is really, really picky. If you know him, you know what I mean. He's a real finicky frugal, what am I trying to say? Frugal, finicky, and hard to please. Anyway, he loves this coffee. He says it's the best ever. So it's the only coffee that he'll drink. He won't buy any from the store anymore. So and that was early, right? And then recently, BitBrew has actually they donated a whole bunch of coffee to the conference. If you were at the conference, those little bags of coffee were from bitbrew.net. Let us know what you think. They have all different varieties, just tons of organic and specialty coffees, very, very fresh, made specifically and shipped to you. And they accept Bitcoins, I think they accept only Bitcoins, but the prices are definitely denominated in Bitcoins. So, and they're locked in. So we really thank them for sponsoring the Bitcoin show as our new sponsors. It's bitbrew.net, not bitbrew.com, bitbrew.net, bitbrew.net. So thank them for becoming sponsors of the Bitcoin show. We really appreciate them. And we're back. So this is what's happening. So here we are in Tokyo, and like I say, that's the Cerulean Tower, as I said before. That big, tall slate building. It's one of the most famous office buildings in Tokyo. And we're going to go over there later today. And we're going to do, I have a camera crew, and we're going to tape a whole bunch of stuff and show you exactly what it looks like. And it's trust me, it's super, super impressive. Mt. Gox is super impressive in many, many ways. So really exciting stuff happening there. Let's see, a couple other quick things I want to update you with. And again, I'm sorry that I've been incommunicado, and our flaky broadcasting schedule. It's challenging. We're doing so many things, and I'm probably going to stop saying that we're going to shoot shows live every afternoon at 2 p.m. because I don't want to disappoint people that hang out and wait for us to broadcast live. I really am hearing you about that. I want to make sure that we don't disappoint. So I'm probably going to change it so that we don't have a fixed broadcast schedule, that we'll do as many as we can in the most timely way we can, and we'll just put them up there as soon as we do. We'll tweet and broadcast about the fact that the shows are there and available as soon as they are, instead of focusing on watching live, because the most important thing is that we get it done and bring you excellent shows and excellent content, and that that it's there, that it's done. It's because sometimes we can do 3-4 shows in a day if there's breaking news or if there's lots of things happening, and other times we might skip a day because there's too much going on, like the conference. It was really hard to tape during a conference, during a hurricane, during a flight to Tokyo, all kinds of things like that. But we've got lots of surprises coming up in store for you. We are gonna do a little bit more of traveling on the road like this, like we're doing this week in Tokyo. So stay tuned for that. Also, I wanted to tell you, this is kind of a news front issue with that affects everyone in the Bitcoin community. And that is, up until now, or up until I guess recently, in the last month or so, the hardcore Bitcoin community, kind of the focal point of it, of communication, has been the online forums for Bitcoin. But unfortunately, as of really a couple months ago, they've just degraded and degraded. And it's not that there's a problem with the people there; it's just a problem with certain elements of, there's like this large group of organized, very well organized, like 13-year-old hackers is really what I call them. Just 13-year-olds who have nothing but time on their hands, and they just want to, they're anti-Bitcoin. And so they go in and pretend like they're adults, and they pretend like they have a viewpoint, which they don't even have. They just want to cause trouble and stir up muck, criticize and bash everybody and everything, and it's just degraded to a little junior high school, food fight. It's just nastiness and really, really ugly. So pretty much everybody who's really important in Bitcoin has stopped using the forums, sadly. That's kind of the flip side of free speech. There's the other side of the coin. Free speech is a wonderful thing. At the same time, it just leaves it wide open to this sort of vandalism. So the forums have become just nothing but vandalism. It's just like graffiti everywhere, basically. Almost every post is graffiti and causing trouble intentionally. So it's a real sad day in a way, because the forum is so important, and so it has been so important until now as a way for the community to stay together and to keep informed and so on. We can only hope that these children will get bored and move on. But in the meantime, the way the community has responded is many ways. There are the core key people in Bitcoin project and all that long ago have lost any interest in the forum because of this issue, and so they have created their own private mailing lists. So there are lots of people, and that's what more and more is happening, is private mailing lists where, if you're a real serious adult who wants to discuss Bitcoin, they'll basically whitelist you and include you in their mailing list. So now it's kind of like a hurricane that's spun off into all these, instead of one big forum now, it's many, many, many private mailing lists for different groups, developers, e-commerce people, all different kinds of things. So I'm on almost all of those mailing lists, and that's kind of what the forums have spun into. First of all, it's just too much volume anyway, because there are just thousands of messages. You couldn't possibly keep up with them all, even if they are legitimate messages. And that was the first problem that we had. But then now with this just utter vandalism, the destruction of the intent of the forum, it's become unusable, and it's really sad. So anyway, that's what's happening. People are creating private mailing lists. We have our own, and I invite you to join it. The easiest URL, it's based on Google Groups, because Google Groups makes it very, very easy to block these types of people. You can only participate if you have a Google account, and so you can't just join and create 200 Google accounts for the intention of vandalism. Google handles that for us, so that makes it really easy. And then every single message that's posted is personally reviewed by me before anyone can see it. So it's super highly moderated, so you're going to get really good quality content. And that's tinyurl, I don't know if you want to have time to put it in the lower third, but it's tinyurl.com/BitcoinPeople. So it's just, the website is, the URL is tinyurl.com/BitcoinPeople. tinyurl.com/BitcoinPeople. And I didn't warn those guys in the studio, but if you get a chance, they can update it in the lower third. But either way, it's tinyurl.com/BitcoinPeople, and you can just sign up with your Google account and be on a good quality mailing list for Bitcoin discussion. And so in the meantime, yeah, you will probably not see me in the actual Bitcoin.org forums anymore for that reason. And also, of course, I have to say, all of the, I spoke out in the forum against this vandalism, saying exactly what I'm saying now, that it's a really sad day for Bitcoin when these anti-Bitcoin, they're basically Bitcoin haters, are completely vandalizing and destroying the forum. And of course, I'm pretty outspoken. I spoke out about it, and of course, because I spoke out about it, I am now their target. So they're trying to attack me every way they can, and so they're spreading all kinds of nonsense about me. So all these accusations that you'll read about me, obviously 100% false. So that's it. Just wanted to give you an update about that. So that's that's what I suggest as an alternative is private whitelisted mailing lists and other ways. Of course, the Bitcoin show, that's what we're here for. And we want to be a centerpiece in the Bitcoin community and bringing you what's important, what's interesting. Definitely email us at bitcoin@onlyoneTV.com and give us your feedback about the show. We're always interested to hear from the actual Bitcoin community and audience, and hear what you want to hear about, what your thoughts are. So we want to always remain a central focal point for the Bitcoin community. That's what we're here for. And let's see. So I guess that's about it. That's enough for now. We're going to actually wrap it up here, pack up our tripod and our cameras and stuff, and we're going to go over to the Cerulean Tower and do a bunch of shooting at Mt. Gox. So stay tuned. That'll be the next episode of the Bitcoin Show. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Ciao. My nickname, Bitcoin Jesus. You'll see more about that. Memory Dealers is like one of the largest retailers who accepts Bitcoin and promotes Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoin evangelist extraordinaire. We love Roger. And also, we're going to do all kinds of interesting things this week in Tokyo. We've got an appointment this evening, Tokyo time, with Hackerspace. Guys, the geeks from meetup.com at Hackerspace, and we're going to introduce them. We're going to do a little talk about Bitcoin and explain to them, and also get some feedback about what's happening here in the local community. And we've also already met some members of the local Bitcoin community and had some talks. So we're getting all that on tape, and we're going to piece it together into episodes. Really good stuff about what's happening in Japan and in Asia. In the world of Bitcoin. In addition to that, we're going to go to a Kabakupa, I think it said. Anyway, it's a Japanese nightclub. I'm not saying it right, for sure, but it's a Japanese nightclub, okay? And it's really, really popular venue in the evening in Japanese culture. And we have spoken to the owner of one, and he is willing to accept Bitcoin. So we are going to actually shoot the whole thing of us setting him up to accept Bitcoin. We might even meet one or two of the young ladies that work there. Exciting. So stay tuned for that this week. And also, as you may know, a hurricane and an earthquake, New York City, where we live, and all in 1 week, and it was just the craziest thing. The earthquake actually happened while I was on the jet. The jet was, had already taxied to the runway, and there's shock absorbers and all that, and it was a very minor tremor, apparently, is what it felt like on the plane. I didn't even notice. I was probably moving around. As you all know, it was an amazing, amazing time. We got to spend time with all the greatest Bitcoin minds, developers, people involved in Bitcoin at every level, from every walk of life, converged on New York City from all the continents of the planet. It was amazing, amazing energy. As you ask anyone who was there, it was just unbelievable. It was the most exciting conference I'd ever been to, and a lot of people said the same thing. Really, really exciting. Well, I decided to get on a plane and come to Tokyo. Why Tokyo? That's where I'm at, actually, Tokyo, Japan, right now. The reason is we want to shoot all week here in Tokyo, live on location, and we are going to experience Mt. Gox. We're going to take you to Mt. Gox headquarters. It's up on a mountain called Gox. It's amazing. I'm going to show you everything later. And anyway, we're going to tour Mt. Gox corporate offices, their headquarters here in Tokyo. And Roger Vera, Memory Dealers, memorydealers.com, which is one of the, I've given Today's episode of the Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Mt. Gox, mtgox.com, and BitPay, bit-pay.com, and Mezzy Grill, meze grill.com, and bitbrew.net. Hello everyone and welcome to the Bitcoin Show. Today I have a special surprise for you. I've been a little incommunicado lately, and that's because of this surprise. On the heels of the world's first Bitcoin conference and World Expo, NYC round. But as a result, we had to taxi back to the gate and stay on the plane and for an hour and a half and all that jazz. As you may know, they shut down all the airports, and it was a little bit, disconcerting. But they evacuated all the federal buildings, blah blah blah. I got a hold of Ed and everybody's fine, and everybody at the studio was fine. I was like, okay, fine, what a relief. An hour and a half later, we took off and we ended up in, flying to Tokyo, and then a hurricane's coming. What? A hurricane is coming to New York City. So obviously this is really weird stuff, and everybody took the preparations and went to higher ground, and mandatory evacuations for a hurricane in New York. I mean, that's what you expect in Miami, is the weirdest thing. So anyway, thank God, everybody I know, as far as I know, is fine and safe and sound, and we didn't even have any flooding or anything. So thank goodness for that. I mean, not in our building, I mean where we are, all of our locations. There was a lot of flooding, but not where we were. So prayers and hearts go out to